Hello everyone, Krydex here, and welcome back to pYanodon's Season 3. We are back with sodium sulfate stuff. I'm actually doing a double header, so I haven't forgotten anything because I just did this just mere seconds ago between a coffee fill-up. So let's merge all these guys, and this should all get built eventually. So let's start building it. Let's start building it. Let's see, what do we want on the bottom here? Probably the Coke stuff. So that means this requester can be the Coke requester. Coke, what are we talking here? 1,800 a minute, dear goodness. So we need like 100 stacks? Ooh, that coffee's hot. Okay, let's see. So I need 18 stacks a minute. So yeah, 100 stacks seems great. No, 120. Let's go higher. 120 stacks. That leaves room for one other type of thing if we need it, which I don't think I will. As far as I can tell, Coke and salt are the only two things we're requesting. All right, anyway. And then we need 2 loaders for that. Okay, and then I'll put the road down, all the way down at the bottom here, just trying to leave lots of space. That's 3, that's 5. Let's see, hooking up the CO2 will look like that. I actually think I want to have the Coke on the bottom. And the limestone will be on the top here. And then the lime itself will go out that way. And we got 3 in. That's just enough to be annoying, isn't it? Yep, it sure is. When do I get my inserter hand capacity or whatever it's called? Stacks? No, what is it called? I never remember capacity. It's some capacity bonus. So we're getting there. We're actually able to queue it up again, finally. Okay, we're getting there. God, this is gonna feel so good. I'm so curious if it's gonna break our base somewhere, but it's gonna be so nice. Also, it'll mean mechanical inserters are kind of back on the table for a lot of things again. Though I'll probably still just use regulars. I don't know, it doesn't seem that important. So I think I'm just gonna build it this way and rely on the fact that that upgrade is coming, because this is 2.4 a second. It's close to what we need. This one I'm less. Oh no, this one's fine because it's sideways. Yeah, okay, never mind. I was gonna say I'm less certain that that's fast enough, because 1.2, once it gets doubled to a hand size of 2, it's not gonna go to 2.4. Because remember, items on the belt, it takes a moment for the inserters to pick them up, and that can slow things down. So I think this is what we want to copy, and I don't think we need these guys on everything. Yep, that covers it. So then this is my set of 2. That underground is fine, but I need to make sure it doesn't copy the signal, because it's going to. I'm gonna copy this. Okay. And the reason I'm taking from both belt, like, that way we don't have to do any balancing or anything. We just unload all the Coke, bring it down, and we're good to go. It's pretty chill method. Let's see if I bring it here. We don't have to do a weird looking corner. Cool. There's that. Then we need a crap ton of limestone. Now, I do know, for those of you that are thinking, Krydox forgot he built limestone somewhere else. I do remember that we did that. Where did we do that? I don't remember where we did it, but I do know I built a big chunk of limestone miners to put onto trains somewhere right here. But like, that by itself is only enough to cover all this. I want this to cover the rest of my base. This one is such a huge draw of limestone. I'm okay having a separate build for it. What am I doing? That. I just want to be able to like copy it basically. Okay, so that's kind of my section of 4. So there's a section of 8, 16, and 24. I'm gonna say that's good enough. And all of that only produces 10 a second, which will easily fit on the belt. Because it produces in chunks of 8, so it's going to go 3, 3, 2 as far as stacking, which then means the average stack size is 2.6, which gives me like 20 items a second, 18 items a second, something like that. So then in comes the limestone. Wow, it's only 1 tile off. That's crazy. If I had been really ahead of the game, I could have made it spot on. But I didn't. Alright, there's nothing special we need to do here except for all the water is 480. So, grab a couple pumps here and here. I know I'm not using AFH to its fullest capacity there, but that's fine. All right, that should do it. Throw in a lamp or 2. Throw in a lamp or 2. And then CO2 out needs to be connected. And then we just need to do the thing where we pump. Pump out. We'll turn the corner first. Okay, and then we do this, that, overflow, pump. Exhaust vent. Back to being underground. And then that'll go, I think it was channel 1, right? That we had CO2? Yeah. So that's here. Okay. That'll do it. All right, and then we definitely need more construction bot range here. And I want to get rid of all these dead hairy trees. Dead dry hairy tree. Oh man, what a name. All right. By the way, this episode has a hard cutoff at 40 minutes. I actually have like an alarm set. I will have to go. I know I say that a lot of times, but I have the podcast coming up, so I actually need to leave. I can't believe we're out of bots. I guess it's all the train stuff that we're building. We were finishing out 2 corners at the same time. Plus, this is a really far trip. As I build further and further away, I'm gonna need more and more bots. Man, am I excited for the bot speed upgrade. Truly, once we get tier 2 bots and the bot speed upgrade, we found out that it about, what did we say? It doubled their speed, roughly. And so that means that bots can do twice as much with the same amount of bots. And the delay time will be about the same as I get twice as far away from everything important. So it's like right now the delay is starting to feel longer and longer, but then we get those upgrades and then the delay will be shorter again until my base gets bigger and bigger. But the faster the bots get, the less the delay is, which is super nice. Okay, so this lime is now... Also, by the way, we're making... we're not outputting lime, I just realized. That's kind of important. Alright. Output. 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 Output close side. Output close side. Output close. I'll need a red belt for that eventually. I'm okay with max 15 for now. Okay, so this lime, what we will do with it is supplement slaked lime production. And then what we'll also do is we'll use the recycled limestone as a priority input for making the lime. So that way we're like only mining limestone that's needed, and we'll have a priority recycler for that. I won't output any limestone from here. We have the other part of the base for that. I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so lime here needs to go on channel 2 only. Did we decide which provider that was going to be for? I'm providing lime and hydroxide only, I think. No. These are normal as well. So hydroxide will go with these. Hydroxide is just a normal thing. This is a normal hydroxide production. But the lime is... Wait, no, I want this to be a primary provider of lime as well, but this is a requester of only byproduct lime. That's correct. Yeah, so that just means we need to provide on channel 1. Yeah, that's all normal. And then we'll request on channel 2 for the byproduct lime. And then there will be no overlap. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. Alright, so this will be... side lime goes in here. This one's going to be lime. We'll say 4,000. Got 168 stacks to play with. Both stack to 100. This one will be the one that provides the sulfates and stuff, so I'll add on to that. This one probably didn't need to be this big, to be honest. We'll just go to 60 stacks lime there. And then that lime will continue on to produce whatever this stuff's called. Slaked lime. I'm gonna leave some space. And it is actually this simple. But I should set up inserters. So we've got 1.66. That I will trust to be handled again by a, what do we call it? Is one power pole enough? It might be. No, I need one per building, sadly. Alright, there's 4. I need 12. There's 12. Light, 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 light. Camera, action. Another roboport, another roboport. Okay, done. Then we need the water, which is actually quite a bit. I think I'll make that over here in the corner. 1, 2, 3. Ugh. Regular pipes look so ugly after all of my AFH time. Much better. There's that. I do need to fix this last one. I don't want it poking into the next block here. Okay, so there's slaked lime production from coke and limestone. The limestone will have a priority input to recycle from hydroxide production. And then that will be slaked lime that goes to the base. Now this is the one we said in our super trasher here. Is there a way I can how do I do this? I think the easiest way, to be perfectly honest, to guarantee that it'll never get to the wrong channel, is just add, I hadn't thought about this before, but this is easy. I just add negative 500,000, 5 million, negative 5 million slaked lime onto that guy. And now the secondary inventory will never, it'll never have enough slaked lime to show as providing on channel 2 here. So the slaked lime will only get on channel 1. Perfect. And slaked lime was, I believe, 3. Yeah. So slaked lime goes to 3 here. So it'll go to 3 and it will go to implants here, making hydroxide. So then we've got the hydroxide makers, which need a crap ton of salt and slaked lime, and then they output a lot of stuff as well. So we're gonna have to deal with multiple belts here. So we've got the salt belt, which can be handled by a red belt of salt. So I'll do 1 belt in. Slaked lime there. 1.66, which again we trust to be handled by a yellow inserter once our research queue is done. Science has stopped! Chorus. Plasmids again, huh? Statics. Plasmids on petri dish. Oh, what? Petri dishes, huh? Now that's curious. Is this a glass problem? Could be. Yes, very much so. Fluid fueling problem. That's mind-blowing to me that we don't have enough fluid fuel. Sorry, my brain's like not okay with this. Freaking out here. No, I'm not. I'm okay. What I'm gonna do, I think we made, please tell me I made a thingy for this. Yes, I did. What we're gonna do is we're gonna plop this down. Where does the actual drilling fluid come out? It comes out there. I'm gonna get some tar here, and we're gonna just turn that into fuel. It's just gonna exist for fluid fuel. I'm gonna do this recipe. So I guess we'll just provide the tar, right? Because this tar that goes into this fluid fuel. Did I even set this up for fluid fueling though? Yeah, fluid provide fuel. Yeah. FP fungible. So that is set up. So now we just need the tar request, which is it is byproduct tar, right? Yeah, so we'll call this byproduct tar at a low priority. Okay. Pick that up. That should do it. We'll see if that does it, but it should. And that should give me a good amount of fluid fuel over the course of time. Hopefully enough to keep glass running. Missing clay pits, huh? Really? No clay pit. There you go. I don't need many of them. I should probably make that 2 though. Because that means up to 2 can be produced at the same time, which means if I need 20 of them, they'll catch up a lot faster. Okay, so back to this. So salt is coming in on, I guess, this one. And how many? I have 144. Okay. Fill it up. Pure salt here. And down here. Okay, so that's salt. I like this better. And this outputs the limestone and the hydroxide. Okay. What we'll do. How much hydroxide? 20 seconds. Again, red belts will fix a lot of things here. So we'll have two output belts. I think that all works out okay. My life is slightly easier if I use... No, it's really the same. I'll just do pairs. And that one will place on the close side. So this is the hydroxide on the close... No, sorry. Limestone on the close side. Close belt. Hydroxide on the far belt, which goes on close and far for a pair of stuff. Yeah, and if I put this here, then we can handle both buildings with one power pole. And then I don't think I need to do anything else. Yeah. Okay. So then that is 4, 6, 8. No! 10. 12. And then cap the end, like so. Get rid of those excess belts, and we good to go. Couple lamps. And we'll throw in, let's see. Yeah, if I put one right here, we get full construction range for those guys. Okay, cool. So that's done. Now we need to recycle the limestone. Which, it's cap... I should put it on both sides. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. There's a reason, because it's like, well, what if I wanted to put another material on that belt eventually, and then that actually kind of makes you think, well, yeah, we should have an empty lane, but then there's also like, but if I want this to go faster, putting it on both lanes means I won't have to rebuild the lane assignments later. So it's kind of a little bit of both. And now that I've done that, that makes me think we should not have this on one lane. We'll have that on 2 lanes. We'll have this. Now, I'm not sure if that's a big enough buffer. I'm also gonna need a red belt there eventually. We're gonna add this to the bottom. Sulfate build. I just need to write down where I need to put red belts. I know we've already missed a few. If you know of any places that we specifically said we're gonna need red belts here for the full build, leave a comment again with a full sentence. Where you need red belts is blank. If you remember where the other places were, because I don't know why I thought I would. Clearly that was a mistake. And what I think we're gonna need to do here is a chest plus loader situation, because I don't think the belt by itself is enough of a buffer. So we'll leave that as a nice little buffer there. I mean, technically the size of the chest shouldn't matter, because this buffer should empty out at all times. It's also not fast enough until I have red loaders as well, because technically that's supposed to be 20 a second. So we're kind of banking on a lot of things here. That should be okay. And that gets us a crap ton of hydroxide, which then gets provided here. I am excited for the stream, the 300-hour stream, because we're gonna rebuild these train stations to actually have 6 loaders. That begs the question, though. Should I wait until I have red loaders? I don't know. They're not that expensive. It is 4 fast inserters, though, plus a fast underground, which is... yeah, it's like 5 stainless and niobium alloy. Blah, 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 blah. How much is a fast inserter again? Because they're not particularly cheap either. Like 16 more circuits, 4 vitral. That's starting to make loader. I think I'd rather do 6 yellow loaders. Although these are more energy efficient for whatever it's worth. Yeah, I think for now we'll stick with 6 yellow loaders rather than 3 red loaders. I think that's still cheaper. Yeah, that's got to be cheaper. So I'll just do 6 yellows in most cases, and we'll rebuild all our train stops to default to 6 yellow loaders. I did wire these up, right? Yeah, I think I did. Okay, and that is hydroxide. Oh no, I've only got 10 minutes. I don't think we're gonna finish the build. 6,000. No, we can do more than that. Let's do 10,000. That's 100 stacks. I still have 116 stacks left after that. Max out the unloading of salt. Okay. All right, so the limestone recycling is functioning. The CO2 is functioning. just because of how CO2 works, I'm gonna throw in a buffer here. That'll give us an extra 225,000. It'll still overflow at 90%, so that's why I didn't say 250,000, but it'll pump out into the other one. So just that way we get more free CO2. I don't really know if that's worth it or not, but for things that don't run constantly, which this might not, having a bigger buffer is nice. Because when this is running, it does make 200 a second. There's 12,000 a minute. That's only 6 minutes that can fit into this guy. All right, moving on. Now we just need salt and sulfuric and a bunch of mixers. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So we need 14 of these. 10 of these. I might just do direct insert. That feels so much cleaner. Pretty sure they match. Yeah, they match rates. That's just clean. Here, idea. Idea time! Oh wait, no. Direct insert means they do need to be this close. Oh, well, hold on. Because if I do direct insert, I have to, like... What's the right way to do this? I think the way to do this... Because we also need a full... I actually think this wasn't crazy. Hold on. So I think what I do is I place onto that belt, and then I pull off of that belt for the bisulfate. And then this one places onto the other side of that belt. Boom. And then the salt is here, which means I need to shift these a little bit. And the salt is, again, 2.5 a second, a little bit faster, but as soon as I get inserter capacity bonus, we'll be good to go. And then we're gonna, uh-oh, of course that hooks up to something. Just gonna do this kind of thing for the output of HCl. And then I guess we need the input of sulfuric. Why don't we just hook that up now? That is right here. Perfect. Okay. Set of buildings, pair of buildings. Can we power it all up with one? All we can. That is just chef's kiss. Glorious. I love Nextlit power poles. I still don't like how much they cover up everything, but I do love them. All right, so that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I goofed up. I need a second salt belt for this one. So the second salt belt will still be needed, crazily enough, even when it's a red belt. But when it'll be so close. How do I feel about this? Yeah, let's just do it. So once we get 6 in, which is... That's the 6th one. Okay, so right here... we just do that. Cut that one off. And then this one takes its place. Perfect. Okay, so that's done. Which, yes, does mean 3 belts of salt. Which seems a bit crazy. Kind of is a bit crazy. I did not mean to do that. I'm so sorry, Mr. Train. Did I screw you up forever? I did. Glad I saw that. Alright, third belt of salt coming around this... shoot. Alright. This is crazy, but we're just gonna YOLO it. See if it works. No, it's not gonna work there. It might work if I go up one more tile. Alright, what do we got? Connect, connect, connect. We're good. Alright. There's our extra belt of salt. Oh look, perfect. That can go up here. And then this... well, it's actually only 2 belts of salt still. How am I gonna get one more out of here? I literally can't. I just have to trust in the red belt upgrade, I guess. But this one is gonna have to split and feed into this one as well. Wait, what am I doing? I need a full one. And then some additional. But once it's redified, we're gonna need to merge these two. We turned it into spaghetti. That's fine. But that should do it. This will output priority left. And this will input priority left. Okay. So that means as much salt as possible ends up going to this guy from this belt, but whatever's left goes to adding to this guy. Alright, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, it should all work out. And then HCl is a byproduct. I think that was the channel 2 byproduct, yep. So that goes here. I guess we did it in 40 minutes, because I think we're done, right? Once all that's built. Not like 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that that all works. I am gonna want some big backup storage for HCl here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna throw 2 tanks down. Those are connected, and then we're gonna pump out. Okay, so that's a ton of HCl stored as both a thing and a byproduct, because it is a byproduct from making sodium sulfate. Finally, we need to provide the sodium sulfate. No, the hydroxide. I never provided the hydroxide. Whoops. Now I've provided the hydroxide, and now I need to do the sulfate up here. Oh, no. Hold on. Clever solution incoming in 3, 2, 1. Alright, clever solution found. Which one's on which side? So on the sulfate's on the bottom side, but that's the one I make more of per second. So actually, is it worth switching all this? No, it's not. It's not worth it. Just for visual sake, I really don't need a loader here, but I think it looks better. Okay, so then right is going to be sulfate. Oops. Misclick. Sodium sulfate in there. I don't know, 3,000. Bisulfate. 1,000. It's only 60 more stacks. 6,000. Cool. All right. I'm pretty sure that's good. Plop. We'll see if it actually all runs properly, but I think we did it all the way we wanted to do it. This is guaranteed to never provide to the secondary inventory, but it will provide to the primary inventory, which is only channel 1. Oh, it's at high priority, though. Oh, no. That's the one thing I didn't factor in. Is that okay? It is. It just means I need to set actual byproduct slaked lime to a higher priority than 10. So that it gets used first. It's literally only ever gonna come from acetylene. So, should be okay. So all I need to do, this is the only other place it's ever gonna be. All I need to do is set this one to 15. Done. We'll always use this up first. And most of this is gonna get sent to the channel 2 to make lime. Wait, is that? I've confused myself. This is a channel 2 requester. So that will bring the slaked lime to here. Okay, yeah. So what I didn't do was plug in the slaked lime to this. That's the missing piece. So that's right here. But then we need the slaked lime from here to supplement that? Is that right? Yeah, we need it to top up this. So we need a good size storage tank. Can I fit this in? Yeah, we can fit this one in here. So I need a good size storage tank to be hooked up to... Which one? Oh, I'm getting myself all confused. Alright, that's the byproduct request for slaked lime. That's what we want to use up first for sodium hydroxide. So then we're going to top up this from here, which means we need an output. We need a pump out. So that's pumping slaked lime out of the train stuff into here. So this will be fully pressurized with train received byproduct slaked lime. Then we want to top up that slaked lime with the slaked lime from here. I think this is too big. I think one this size is plenty. So I'll put this here. So this is the slaked lime we're actually like using to produce sodium hydroxide. I think it needs to be more than that. We'll do a 75. And then we need to top up I know this looks like a weird way to do it. That way they kind of look like two separate networks. And so we're topping up from this one. That'll top that up to 20%. But we will first use the train-based byproduct slaked lime to make hydroxide from salt. Okay. I believe that's what we want. And then this slaked lime will just get outputted directly into the main product slaked lime, which is only on channel 1. Okay. I also have not requested lime. That's the mistake here. I never requested byproduct lime to use as priority. So that'll be the next thing from up here. I think that's what that was for. I'm not 100% sure on that. Not actually 100% sure on that. Okay, but sodium sulfate and bisulfate are done. And yeah, we need to request byproduct lime and prioritize input over here. So this is channel 2. Lime. Is this right? Is this how I want to do it? I think so. Okay. No filter. That'll come down. Let's find a good open spot. It would be right about here. Input priority right. Let's try to make it look kind of clean. Okay, that's looking decently clean. I really like the look of giving one space. You know, underground, one space stuff, one space underground. I think that just looks so much cleaner when you can swing it. I can't swing it here, so you keep it symmetrical, but where you can swing it, I just think it makes things look so much cleaner. Which means right here I should rebuild that, but I don't want the bots to have to pick up all that coke, so I'm not gonna. Hey, there's hydroxide. All right, I think we're done. I need to be done with the episode. I said an alarm, and I ignored it for a couple minutes, but I do need to be done. So, cool. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure. I love this pyanodons series. I will let you know as soon as I figure out what date I'm going to do the 300-hour stream, and I'll announce that on my Discord as well, so keep an eye out there. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next one.